Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Jerry Porter.
I'm Ryan DiGiorgi.
I'm Evan Jacover. Yeah.
Evan has a disease where he can't start a podcast. This is a very important day for him.
This is excellent. I think this is going to bode well for all your other endeavors in life, and I think it's going to be awesome. And we're all proud of you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And as a reward, you get to talk about minute 109. 109 begins with fire rushing into the sky, and it ends with Marion and Indy gazing upon the now silent Ark.
So this minute begins with a guy that gets carried up into heaven.
Yeah, I just noticed that just now.
Really? The guy?
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, is this a good guy? Like, is this that secret Belgian archaeologist? And God's like, okay, this guy's all right. We're taking him up. Or is he a bad guy that's going to get like an extra smackdown?
Well, I always thought that was like a weird effect that like that one body represents all the bodies are getting sucked up into the sky. But then that leads to another question, like, wait, are they going to like, when you go up, you're going to heaven, right? And this is the whole thought process I had just today, because I never really totally thought about this, but I'm like, okay, they're going up into the sky, which, by the way, that sky opening up, I totally buy. That all it is the clouds parting, but I totally buy that is the sky opening up to whatever is beyond.
Agreed.
That's like a totally simple, excellent effect. But I always took it as the Ark with this pillar of flame is like chucking everything that it just destroyed up into, God's realm. I'm not going to call it heaven because it sounds like that's like a reward or something. Like, hey, the Nazis get to go to heaven, yay. But that it's like sort of taking it back to God, and then it's cleaned up all its stuff, and then it slams back down and everything's all tidy.
Well, maybe they all go up there and they turn into sand, and then they get like put back into the Ark, and then when Porkins opens it up, like all the Nazis.
Probably.
Well, it has a head. The guy has a head, so it's not Belloc.
Yeah,
The head's not melted, so it's not Toad. I mean, it's got to be one of. It's just like a random Nazi.
I think it's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, it might be.
But then I was thinking, like, wouldn't it make more sense if the idea is that these guys are all evil and that's why they were killed? Like, wouldn't like a crack in the earth open up and they go down to hell? But then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I guess the Ark is not. It's God's thing, and he doesn't really deal with hell as much. I don't know. I'm making this up. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm like, it makes sense.
Throwing the body into the neighbor's yard. It's just like, I'm just gonna get rid of this thing.
You deal with this.
What I love about this is basically God said, kill them all and let God sort them out.
Yeah, kind of.
And then he's like, wait a minute, that's just more work for me.
But I can handle it on account of I'm God.
But I mean, and Tom, I'm glad you brought this up because the Nazis, I mean, everybody clearly goes up to heaven. At least temporarily.
All right.
We all know, because it's exactly what you said. We've seen millions of movies where the earth splits and all the bad guys get dragged down into hell.
Yeah.
And this is very, very specifically that the sky parts and everybody ascends up in this, awesome Yahweh God fire flame. And you're like, okay, so they're going up to heaven, and maybe there's a comma and it's like for judgment.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're clearly going up to heaven. I mean, they're going up to meet, they're going to have to talk to Yahweh about this.
Well, can you make a distinction between like God's territory and heaven? Like, can that be, like
That's St. Peter's Gate? Yes.
Maybe. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'll just stay out of it.
Well, Jerry, I've got a mild anxiety disorder.
Do tell.
Did it bother you? Because I know you might have a slight one as well. When he takes the lid of the Ark up and it's not centered on that column of stuff that's going up. It's like it looks like it's about to fall off of that column. And every time I watch that,
bothered me for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of wanted to reach into the screen and just knock it over a little.
Yeah.
And nudge it.
Well, and Tom, you brought this up. Is Yahweh a technophile? Because he takes all of the camera and recording equipment up to heaven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
He's
like,
oh,
maybe
we
he
don't have
just
that stuff up here.
I think he's more of a Luddite. Just like leave no trace. I gotta live in the
Yeah.
live in the mountain.
God's like, oh, I got kicked out of Zencaster. What do I do?
I got to keep the mystery.
It is interesting and convenient that like that lid falls right back on the ark. Like, all right, don't worry about it. You don't have to like grope around with your eyes closed trying to cover it up again.
Right. And finding gloves,
Right.
not to touch it and everything. I got to say, we were talking about German engineering last minute, Hebrew engineering. That thing lands from like 1,000 feet in the air and it's totally fine.
It's
not
got
a
a great
chip or a crack.
Star Wars
yeah.
kind of sound.
It's gorgeous.
When it
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that's kind of the best shot you get of the ark in the whole movie. Just like the full on, not moving, not being boxed up or carried around. Just there it is.
Yeah.
Last you're
Well,
gonna
one
see
of the biggest questions I think in the whole movie is that at the end of this minute we see the ark now sitting peacefully and undisturbed, and of course you think, well, what would happen if Indy walked over right now and peeked inside? Like would that same hot angel come out and then he'd ditch Marion? And
Well, that's the question I have. Does Indy or does anybody like that ends up with the ark ever have any idea what actually was inside? Because Indy,
Right.
did-
That's
like
a
if
good
he, if he
point.
never saw,
Well, that's kind of the
and he-
next minute. I mean,
A
not
little
to
bit,
jump
yeah.
ahead,
Yeah.
but like what does he really want? Well, we'll talk about that later.
yeah.
what would happen if just Indy and Marion walked over and opened up the Ark of the Covenant right now? I mean, do you think, and they do kind of have God helping them out a little bit. So do you think God would be like, no, you don't want to. No,
Yeah.
it's all right.
The ark just scoots away from
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
Or would God be like, oh God, I just cleaned this up. I don't want to go through this again. Fine,
It's like just
here,
a comedy
look at-
bit where he tries to lift the lid and like an angel keeps pulling it back down.
No.
But they do sort of like implicitly ask that question at the end of this minute when they both look, they're lovey-dovey with each other, and then they look over at the
Yeah.
ark, and like it's like, what just happened? And also like, how are the two of us going to get this out of here? And then brilliantly, the movie just cuts away.
Right.
I'm not gonna touch
I want
it.
the-
You gonna touch
Right.
it? They got like
Right.
oven mitts on.
Yeah. He rips Marion's dress once again and makes oven mitts out of it.
Right.
And, yeah. But the I keep wanting this is skipping ahead to next minute, but the first line that you hear Indy saying in that Washington office should be like, and that's how Marion and I got past the Nazis and got the ark back to the
Right,
States. Anyway.
exactly.
I like in second 47, you can hear a little cricket chirping. So like not everything got killed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not going to hurt a cricket.
The God-fearing crickets survive.
Yeah, if anything, they're going to be part of the
Transaction.
next plague.
He's saving
He
him up.
showed up. He just got sent down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one thing that's interesting is you see at second 12, you see a great God's eye view looking down from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And the column of fire has little tote bits in it.
Yeah, it's got little flotsam and jetsam in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting. You see actually like the vantage point from heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Like you look down, you're like, oh, that's what Malta looks like from heaven.
So you were asking earlier, Jerry, if there were other point of view shots. I remember a couple times when you've seen an Indy point of view shot.
Oh yeah.
So I guess now you got your Yahweh point of view shot.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Which he's clearly a character.
The movie has made us all blasphemers, putting us in God's point of view.
We also talked last time about what is the fire destroying and what is it not touching. And I really like the sort of winky comical way that like it just cuts their bonds just because
Yeah.
sure. it's fine.
Yeah.
And he just like, looks at it like, how did that? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. They had the lowest burning point of any of the materials
Right.
nearby.
They used like the most sinful rope they could find.
Yeah. That was the rope used to hang a pastor in Oklahoma and what. If I were Indy and Marion, I would keep my eyes closed for the rest of the week. I wouldn't assume that just because everything got all quiet that everything was fine and I was allowed to look around again.
Yeah.
Let's say, and especially if you're talking about like an Old Testament Yahweh.
Yeah.
Like at the end of this is I wonder, is maybe God's taunting them a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it's still the big apple on the hill over there.
Go ahead. And it's all beautiful and golden, and there's no one around. Like you could take a peek.
Yeah,
I burned
And
the ropes. Here you
Yeah.
go. You're free to peek inside.
And it lights itself so beautifully.
Yeah. It'd be a shame not to open me.
I do like though when she opens her eyes, her eyes are kind of half open first, and she kind of looks out of both direct, like kind of sideways, like through half closed eyes, kind of making sure it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like how he sort of like grabs her and he's like, yeah, come on, idiot. It's fine. Open your eyes. Like as if she's supposed to know, like now you won't be taken to hell. Don't worry.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm an archaeologist. I know that everything's fine now.
I like, I do like the hug here, and they don't have any. I like that they don't have dialogue here. It's just sort of woo, that worked out. It's like a moment that probably would only have been diminished if they tried to put dialogue into it.
Once again, our love conquers all.
Exactly.
They do look like they just got married. Like they kind of look like they're getting married or something. The way they're holding hands, they're facing each other.
I do. We've gone back and forth for this entire movie about, how Indy treats Marion, why Marion expects anything from him or what she sees in him, or does she love him, or is she just like weird, have some weird, what's the, not Helsinki syndrome, what's the other one?
Stockholm
syndrome, thank you.
Jesus, Helsinki syndrome.
Malta.
That's a Jason Bourne movie, I think.
Yeah. Those are one of the good ones. But here they've got this deep loving embrace. It's like relief mixed with, oh my God, thank God we're okay and everything. And Indy's got a look on his face that, if you saw this out of context and you weren't a cynical jerk like me or somebody, you would see that as like pure love and, oh, this is the woman for me and thank God we're okay and I get to spend the rest of my life with her. So should I just like let go of my cynicism and just say, okay, now Indy actually loves Marion Ravenwood and everything's going to be good? Okay, good. Thank you, Christ. Thank you, Pete.
Well, no, we know that he knocks her up and then abandons her.
Exactly.
And
even if we didn't know that in 1981, we would have figured it out just thinking about it on the way home.
And this is the first time in the movie he hasn't had something kind of taken his attention, like he's got to go get something. So now he can kind of be like, oh yeah, I better kind of make up here.
Oh yeah,
there's a TV with the football game on in the corner. He's like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, honey, just a minute.
The TV's on. Don't look at it, Marion.
Yeah, don't look at it. You're going to jinx it like you did last week.
You can hold on to your optimism, though, until the next minute when I think we get some proof that he's not that interested in her.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Indy, come on. It's Marion goddamn Ravenwood.
I know. Karen Allen, man.
Oh. Oh.
I'm scrubbing through. I mean, it's a lot of just really good, slow-paced acting, which I like, but I'm trying to think of anything else that might be like a great thing to talk about.
I know, yeah. It's like the climax of the movie, and there's not a ton to say about it. Really, right. Once you get over the God's point of view and the one-way ticket to heaven for the Nazis.
I guess one last piece of evidence for the Star Wars, the Han Solo fever dream. Like they're sweating and clammy and gross. Like they look like they're having a fever dream right here. They are so clammy and sweaty right here.
That does strike me more as like nerves flop sweat than like heat sweat. Like, we were talking, was that this minute or last minute?
I think it was
God in heaven. I think it was too. Getting loopy. Yeah, like I don't, whether or not that flame was actually like, godly hot or not, I feel like this sweat that they've got going on now is just like, geez.
Yeah.
What did we just go through? Holy smokes.
Hey, it's all the commandments burning out of him. It's like the broken commandments just sweating out. I mean, Indy's like crossed off a ton of them. I mean, he might be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's maybe broken. I don't know, 8, 9 of them.
I mean, he killed a lot of people.
He did.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's married to Marion, and they seem very cozy.
He was
He's
definitely coveting some wives. Yeah.
he's also coveting the idol.
Oh yeah.
From it belongs to the Chachapoyans.
Yeah, he
That's
stole
the
it.
first one.
Yeah.
He's stolen. He's borne false witness.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lied.
Yeah.
I
He
don't.
used the
I
Lord's
think we
name
can
in
all
vain.
agree he didn't go to church this week.
He didn't wash his hands before dinner.
We don't know if he honored
one,
his
right?
father and mother. He definitely didn't honor Marion's father.
God, not at all.
Yeah.
Wow, he went out of his way to give him the finger.
Is it bad that I'm having to Google the 10 Commandments?
No, but could you please email them to me, and then I'll decide if it's bad or not.
I mean, the good news is, it feels like you're not trying to open the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, that's definitely
fair.
better.
Yeah.
Well, it's not, to be fair to Indy, that's not one of the commandments. So how was he supposed to know?
Well, apparently that's the commandment.
Yeah.
Like,
The
what
fine print.
is the end game here? Like, is it are you killed if you're bad, or are you just really just comes down to just don't touch it, just don't look at it?
Yeah. Don't ask.
No, exactly. It's the complete Adam and Eve. It's like, hey, there's one fruit, just that tree, just tree of knowledge. Don't, and they go, well, how come? Just stop. Just don't. You don't have to ask questions and get all mouthy about it. Just don't touch the. Look at the other trees and beautiful sky and all the
He's got
birds.
knowledge.
Yeah,
It'd be like
That's
though
it.
if then like if the tree of knowledge were like a big blockbuster hit, and the guy was like, you know what, we should make. There's another thing too that you should.
We got to get some
years
butts and
later.
seats in this religion.
Yeah. There's only the two of us here.
Indy must take the Lord's name in vain in this movie, right?
Oh yeah, he does that.
He does. It's
Yeah.
actually great when he says, he goes, Jesus!
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, I think he covers all 10 handily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I feel like that's how we know it's the end of the movie. He's broken all.
I think that's
Well,
part of the classic Hollywood narrative form, isn't it? That that's by the end of Act 3, you've broken every 10 commandments.
If there's a commandment in the first act, it has to go off by the third act.
Yeah. Chekhov's commandment is
Right.
the trickiest one. It's got the worst Russian accent.
Oh no.
I think that's going to be like the next one, like Indiana Jones and the Tree of Knowledge.
Probably.
You can have snakes.
Indiana Jones versus God.
Yeah.
Be like Rocky 4.
Or Star Trek 5.
Or
So use
yeah,
a whip.
thank you.
Well, I like that John Williams got to unleash the full force of the Ark theme in this movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
Where it really
Yeah.
kind of just gets to go to town.
He's been gently teasing it for the entire
Yeah.
movie, and now he just gets to go
109
full throttle.
Yeah.
Do you think John Williams also has that feeling of like, let's get to the end of the movie where I can really get my work done here?
Oh, maybe.
I'm tired
what's
of having a
interesting that-
clarinet play this. I want to let the trombones go to work.
Yeah.
Come on.
The big things. Give me a tuba. One thing I've been meaning to mention on the show for a while is that somewhere John Williams said, I think it's in the Rinsler Making of Indiana Jones book. He says that he's commenting on how he didn't have a ton of time to do this score and that he was actually kind of rushed and he didn't get to like work on it as much as he wanted to. And it's probably his best score.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can argue that, and you could be right. I don't know, but it's probably his best score. And it's interesting that, sometimes when you're under the gun and you don't have time to canoodle and mess with stuff, you come up with something awesome.
Yeah.
Your first draft is great.
You can be your own worst enemy. You're trying to like overthink it.
Yeah. Yeah. You edit it to death.
Right.
Who needs that? Why don't we come back tomorrow and we can see what happens in how Indy and Marion defeat all the Nazis on the island and steal a sub and get back to the United States. Sounds exciting.
I can't
All
wait.
in 1 minute. But before we do that, Evan and Ryan, thank you for being here. Where can people find you online and in the world, and what are you guys working on?
Thank you. Evan, do you want to say things? I said things last time.
You can find me in my little baby's room trying to get him to sleep, usually between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. That's my life.
I will also be there in Evan's baby's room.
That's awkward, but
yeah,
okay.
It's weird. I don't know, but I sublet it from the baby.
He doesn't sleep well.
I hope you got good terms and good, yeah.
Yeah. It's not great. I have to pay for heat and everything. It's weird.
Yeah. Hey, don't run from a baby.
Yeah, now I know that.
That's the 11th commandment. Pete, where can people go and make up other commandments that they can break in conjunction with our show?
We're actually running out of time on our show, but you can find all of our past episodes and a lot of other stuff that'll keep you busy while you're waiting for another show from us at IndianaJonesMinute.com.
And please come back while you still can tomorrow for minute 110 of Raiders of the Lost Ark here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
It was supposed to be that cricket.
Yeah.
I got it.
God sent me here. I'm not indigenous to this island. I'm the god cricket.
Clean up.
Yeah, where's my broom? Gotta take down those lights that magically stayed up.
Sounds like a Maltese cricket.
That's me.